You're watching an RH Reality Check production brought to you by rhrealitycheck.org.
I'm HIV positive. I've been positive since 2006. I was incarcerated in South Carolina. I've been released June 1st, 2009, and just dealing with it on a daily basis.
Were you aware of HIV/AIDS before, while this was going on?
Well, yeah, I was aware of it, but I wasn't as knowledgeable on it now, like I am now.
Let me ask you the obvious question: why wasn't a condom used?
They don't pass them out. When I became incarcerated, it was just not an option. It was not an option. The only option was to be abstinent, and I didn't want to be abstinent. I had a lover, and I had he was a good friend to me, and he was also someone I was sexually attracted to, like, and it just came natural. It came natural, and just like with anything else in life, if you're outside of the walls and you're out in the street in society, you're not always gonna have a rubber handy, and but at least you have the choice to get one. But in there, you don't have that choice.
I was diagnosed in 1989 of December. Come from I started out real early, on the streets, living on the streets basically, having sex for money, getting high. That was my main riff, getting high, doing this and doing anything with you, him, and everybody else for a few dollars to get high. And basically, my life started changing. I got real sick. Wasn't taking no medicine because I didn't want nobody to know what was going on with me. My older brother, he died of AIDS. Right now, I have AIDS, and I has progressed to AIDS like 10 years ago. The medicine that I'm on, it's not working, but they want me to continue to take it. My CD4 count is 1.7. My viral load is over 1 million. But it's like the grace of God. I can still move around. I work, and it's a challenge every day for me. I feel pain every day, but I just I keep going. And basically, just like I said, it comes from having sex with men. I was too young back then. I didn't, and even when I found out, I was real young, so I was still ripping and running the streets, and you know what I'm saying, and unprotected sex because condoms, yeah, right. Nobody was using condoms back then, really. And then when you out there tricking 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, prostituting your body, you ain't got time to get a condom. You're trying to get in a car and get out. And I wasn't using this up here. I was just thinking about the next high. The medicines are not working, but I continue to take them anyway. I take 19 pills a day. It's like a volcano on the inside of me, and I'm saying, when is it going to erupt?
And from the time I walked out of the doctor's office until I got to my front door, I cried, So I put my key in the door, and it seemed like I couldn't get the door when my father came to the door. And my father said, "What's wrong?" Like that. So I said, "Dad," I got HIV. Like that. So he told me, he said, "Look, son," he said, "HIV ain't the worst thing in the world." He says, "Cheer up." He said, it's not as bad as you think it is. He said, "You're going to live a long time." But the doctor told me that in 6 months I would be dead. This was in 1982. I don't know how I managed to. The only thing I can say is just the grace of God that I'm just still here.
Right here in South Carolina, I've still experienced a little bit of ignorance down here to the point where I'm ashamed, sometimes to sit there and engage myself in long conversations about it with people because I'm not so sure they're catching what I'm saying. But I still speak on it. I still try to get out there and help them get an understanding and deal with it like I do, you know, because I've even had family members from up here, you know, as much as they love me, as much as I love them, some of them are still, you know, reluctant to get into the knowledge on it. The thing is that, you know, they'll turn around and do things that are strange to me, like they'll set out the table in China where for everyone in the family for a big gathering or dinner, and just in my place will be the paper plates and the plastic cups and the plastic spoons, you know. And I mean, that's enough to make somebody want to just get up from the table and leave and don't even speak on it. So I had to find a way to talk about it with them and with my friends and loved ones, you know, and just people that aren't used to talking to people about it that have it. And I find that what South Carolina needs is to let go of a little bit of that tradition when it comes to this, because this is something that can affect the whole community if they don't wisen up. This is going to be part of history, you know, and they need to make the changes that are necessary to become less ignorant.
I guess it's a lot of grown men peer pressure. You know, we have peer pressure as well, and we don't want our friends to know that we have it or that we interested in trying to learn about it so we can help the next person. So we as African American men, the majority of us, we run away from it. Yeah, that's what we do.
I'm inclined to agree with Anthony because, see, I've noticed that the African American community here in Columbia tends to try to run away from getting tested, and they'll talk about it when they're talking about someone else having it, like as though, like, you know, picking and making fun of people or joking around about it, whatever. But as far as being serious about it and getting tested, it's not too many people willing to get out there and get tested. And I'm one of them who used to be like that. I didn't want to get tested. But the thing is that when it comes to having sex and not getting tested and everything, that plays a part of here too, because they're so scared to even let someone know that they're not so masculine with their sexuality, that they really don't want no one to know that they've got HIV, because everyone thinks that that's, you know, the gay disease, which is not just the gay disease or gay man's disease.
At one time, they were saying that AIDS was a white man's disease. White men was getting the disease mostly. And now they're saying that black men are the predominant leaders of the HIV disease. Like, I think that black men ought to fess up to what they're doing. Now, black men will go out, sleep with a woman, turn around and then sleep with a man. You understand what I mean? Then go home to their wives. You know, that's not right. You understand what I mean? I believe that's why the disease is spreading as fast as it is.
And see, we as Afro-American men, we have this syndrome called black man's pride.
Yeah.
We hide behind that refrigerator right there, and we let other people do the work for us, then we start complaining. The drug situation today, it has our minds locked up. And as long as that's out there and it has control of us, then we'll always be stagnated right here.
I've come across several people who were like myself, who that's the reason why I got high, was to have sex and to not care and not have to worry about, you know, I'm not worrying about what's happening tomorrow or what's going on when this person leaves. All I know is I want to get a motel, get some cocaine, get 2-3 people in there, and we just have a sex party. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And that's going to continue as long as drugs are affecting people's mind like that, and they're always going to be that way. And it's just getting worse, especially out here. This is a large part of the community out here. They just like the cocaine and the party mentality, and they're in that mindset, and you don't see them running out there and buying a rock and making sure at the same time they buy a condom. They're not going to do that. They're just going to buy one or the other. You know? I like to see people doing things like running raffles and bingo halls and everything with nothing but financial support coming out of that to HIV sponsoring and stuff, and maybe some counseling and more free testing. I like to see buses going around, instead of saying donate blood, saying, you know, get tested right here in the bus. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Why can't they do that?
So I think a lot of young black Afro-American men need to be educated on this. I really do. And for real, I think they should implement that, a study of this in a part of high schools now. I really do think they should have a HIV and AIDS class, a mandatory course on that, because this thing has really spread. I mean, it is not just right here, it's worldwide.
Now, when it comes to medical, you know, this state is great because they've got everything's under Ryan White for HIV. Everybody can get their medication here. They can get some counseling here. They can get some psychiatric care here if you're HIV. You know, these things are very necessary for somebody, and I don't want to get the wrong message across that, like, there's just, you know, so many problems for the person with HIV. There's so many things also that are helpful for someone here with HIV. There's a lot that is being done. I don't have nothing but complaints. I'm not just full of complaints. I do have some, but I have some awesome things and people to be grateful for in this state too.